Over the past several weeks, there have been times when I responded or posted with regard to what Q had left us, and other times that I have not. In those situations where it was obvious, or at least obvious to me, and that it seemed obvious to everybody else, that they could read the sentences, the paragraphs, and look at the videos just as well as I could. I could see no reason to go through them line by line, so I reserved my time and my energy and my impetus to you not to waste your time with them. Today, however, I follow and look at the Q stuff from time to time, and I have been waiting for a shoe to drop, for something to hit the fan, which is on my cover of my thumbnail. And something that would hit the fan would have to be a movement, an energy, an impetus, a change in status, a clearly indicated movement which would inexorably lead to the justice that we all seek in some fashion or another. So today, the piece that dropped is a statement from the press secretary. And let me read it, because I think it is important to read it, to put it on, and some of you obviously don't want to look at it in the Q posts. So it's a statement from the press secretary. It's dated today. It says, at the request of a number of committees of Congress and for reasons of transparency, the President has directed the Office of the Director of National Intelligence and the Department of Justice, including the FBI, to provide for immediate declassification of the following materials, : Number 1, pages 10 through 12 and 17 through 34 of the June 2017 application to the FISA court in the matter of Carter Page. Number 2, all FBI reports of interviews with Bruce Ohr prepared in connection with the Russia investigation. And number 3, all FBI reports of interviews prepared in connection with all Carter Page FISA applications. So basically what this is going to do is it is going to unfold everything in that Russia investigation immediately. And what it should do, by way of a whole range of processes, is to first of all show the collusion and games that were being played, the interrelationship between people who had no business colluding as they did, the sources of the materials, the crowd, the Nellie Ohr stuff, the Steele dossier, the leaks to the magazines and the rest of that to try to gain some kind of validation of it. All of this tied together will become in some fashion apparent. Secondly, the Bruce Ohr stuff is going to open up all kinds of interviews, and it should explode the process, because it's going to show who else Bruce talked to. So let's play a game here for a minute. Did he talk to people in the Democratic National Committee? The answer is probably yes. Did he talk to Steele? Many times. Did he talk to his wife? Are those referenced? Did he talk to other people in her organization? Are those referenced? What access did he have to the Five Eyes bunch, to the MI5 and the rest of the British folks who were deeply involved? Did he talk to Clinton herself and or some of the people, the attorneys, the Perkins Coie folks, the rest of those, the Podesta bunch? But also, don't forget this one, did he talk to Jockstrap McStain? And he may well have. So the process is that this could open a whole range of new openings that will show the whole collusion, and it will also show, and this is another major thing, and it is good that it is when it is, it should show that they did not have probable cause to seek the FISA warrants, and that is critical. They did not have probable cause, And so they were attempting to bootstrap what they had to make a case for spying on the Trump campaign. If that's the case, it is a major, major infraction, and it by definition shows interference in the process of an election. It is, we have government-sponsored spying on a presidential candidate going into it, and also going after he was inaugurated into office. This is the June 17 one, so this would be way down the line, but it also shows these other interviews and the rest of this clear back. Now, the second thing that has been done is, and their next paragraph of this is, in addition, President Donald J. Trump has directed the Department of Justice, including the FBI, to publicly release all text messages related to the Russia investigation without redaction of James Comey, Andrew McCabe, Peter Strzok, Lisa Page, and Bruce Ohr. Now, once that opens up, and it doesn't say all between them, it says all of them related to it. So we may well have, whether they release it or not, whether they try to hide some of this stuff even now, but we may have with McCabe or Comey, maybe not Strzok or Page or Ohr, we may have interactions with the Clinton campaign. We may have interactions with Podesta, with Perkins Coie, with the Steele folks and the rest of that. But we may also have them with Loretta Lynch. We may have them with the Obama administration, and perhaps with Obama himself. So this could be, excuse me, could be gigantic. And Q goes on to point out a bunch of other things. Most of these are, you know, I hesitate to sound down about it, but they are, and I don't mean to be down, that they are more rah-rah events. So where we go one, we go all. Yes, this is the red carpet. Watch out for it. Look out. Now, one of the things that is pointed out, and this is perhaps an important event, is that this was released on the 17th. And why is that of consequence? Well, the 17th happens to be the number that relates to the letter Q, right? And the 917 happens to relate to IQ. So maybe we've finally gotten smart about all of this and have tied this together. But there are also pictures of Trump's pen again. I have no idea what that means. There's pictures of Trump. There are tweets. There are Sarah Carter stuff. But, you know, I don't think that that adds anything to it. Now, finally, there is a substance matter, and it says, goodbye, Mr. Rosenstein, and goodbye, Mr. Mueller, Rosenstein, whatever, however you choose to do this, right? Patriots in control, signed Q. If this links, and I think it will, if this links these guys to the other emails and text messages and the rest of that between the remaining parties that were involved in the investigation, it will suck these guys in, and there is no time span for it. So the time span covers, if one reads it broadly, and I think you need to read it broadly, the FISA stuff, everything that relates to the FISA goes back to what, May or June of 16, and goes to the summer of 17 or perhaps later. And so you've got interactions that are going to also happen with respect to Rosenstein and Mueller. And if in fact those guys are shown to be colluding and knowledgeable and knowing about the fact that this warrant never had vitality, never reached the level of probable cause, then they are also fully in collusion. They are also subject to condemnation by the FISA court, and they have violated their code, their oath of office. They have violated their oath as to being an attorney. They're subject to having their licenses terminated, and they're also almost assuredly subject to a whole series of criminal prosecutions that include making false statements. They're sworn under the threat of perjury. Well, that puts them in a 10 or 20 year felony criminal violation. The violations that could show up on this are all more substantial than anything by Papadopoulos or Carter Page or by Manafort or the rest of these guys. Manafort stuff and who's the other one? Well, Page, but of course even Flynn. You know, it's lying to the FBI. Well, this is not lying to the FBI. This is making a sworn statement to invade and violate a campaign staff and an inaugurated, in-place, seated President of the United States, and using the FISA court to gain access to his transactions and the penumbra of everything around his transactions. So it's not just Carter Page. It has to do with Manafort. It has to do with everything that could be within that parameter, and it covers all of the transactions that are involved. So these guys were fishing with huge nets, trying to find something that they could get Trump on. And it is despicable. It is a violation of law. It fundamentally violates our form of office, our form of government. And so I think this is a matter of huge substance, and it far exceeds just the, hey, booms are coming. This is actually a boom. It is a real boom. And it may be like those firecracker, you know, you get the packets of firecrackers and you light one of them and it goes pop, and then it goes pop, 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 and that's what we may get. We may very well get the kind of response to this that opens this whole thing up. And of course, the other thing about it is that it is going to give huge ammunition to Nunes and to Meadows and Jordan and some of these other guys in Congress that are going to have ammunition now. They're going to really have substantive ammunition, and they're going to be able to pound away. And they should also be able to immediately notice and send to the Department of Justice a request that the matters of violation be looked into and that they be prosecuted. So you've got false statements made to the Congress, you've got false statement made to the FISA courts, you've got collusion, and you have perhaps treason at the outer edge of this. So it could be monumental. And this is not just, oh gosh, I'm calling my girlfriend, or oh gosh, I sure don't like that Trump guy. This is big stuff. So I will be on the lookout for other revelations, but I have to tell you, as I have said through the process of this, I find this to be substantive in the first order. Now, it's not the Wiener laptop, which would blow the thing wide open, but I guess Judicial Watch has requested the access to a lot of that, and if that comes, that will of course be a boom 10 times or 100 times bigger than this. But this could be huge. Thank you so much for watching. If you like it, give a thumbs up. I think this is meaningful, folks, and I think it links Q to the presidential administration as well as anything could. So thanks so much for watching.